Welcome back, everyone. Here is Tordala with another session of the Kilwa run we've been at for, well, you've been witnesses to it for the past week or so. But probably the run itself has been like a few months already, or maybe a little bit less. I've been quite persistent with it as of late. So, as usual, just to get things started or get back into the groove, let's see what the situation is. Last time, I believe we just annihilated Bengal, so they do not exist anymore. We are in the process of coring their provinces at 0.0%, so we didn't really do anything besides that. And as you could probably figure out from the stream title, I decided that the next target we're gonna lock onto is Shun. One of the reasons is that, yeah, they're allied with Korea, but then again we have these two allies who hopefully will join us, so I'm meaning Delhi and Transoxiana. And if they do that, that's gonna be like 500,000 extra troops. But yeah, just to familiarize ourselves, let's take a look at how many troops Shun has, for example. So 128k troops deployed with 100k in the reserves. And I guess the bigger threat was Korea actually, who has 200k troops deployed and 150k in the reserves, give or take. So deployable troops around 300 something thousand, and just our allies have like 500,000, and we probably will be able to field a lot as well. Now I am thinking that maybe we bring a little bit more troops from like around here near the Ottomans to fight, just in case, to make the process smoother, you know. So yeah, first let's take care of the troops that are already near Shun, and let's just position them a little bit better, closer to the enemy lands. And then we'll take also the ship to take the other troops from, what is this part, like Middle East? Yeah, also towards Asia. Okay, so for example, this group is just mercenaries. You guys will probably be near the front lines, just assisting and taking over some provinces, not sieging, of course. You guys are a siege group, and you will end up in Chuzhou. Then the next one on this group is kind of taking care of the rebels. Who is with you though? So there are like a bunch of Delhi troops here as well. Hopefully they can join us in the war. I do want to actually check it out. So if you were to declare war right now, so you can see we can grab both Transoxiana and Delhi into the war with us, which is brilliant. Now, this group I will leave here to just take back the rebel territory. Now there seems to be two groups over here. One of you goes to Hangzhou, and the other one just right next to it, to the province called Jinhua. Okay, so these two are taken care of. We have some near Guarat territory, and these guys were still not merged together. And you will go to Poyak. I'm just, yeah, again, like my method is just saying those provinces out loud, so I kind of remember where to send the next one. Okay, so probably Nanchang is the next destination. Oh, we also have military access to Shun somehow. Okay, so everybody has been sent on their way from, well, the Indian territories, I guess. Now you guys, you're quite close to Shun already. So maybe you go to Hengyang, just to spread up a little bit. And you guys will meet in Kilwa. So that's like all the troops that we had positioned near Shun, or like relatively close to it. Ah, no, there's two more. Just lacking in Chagatai. Okay, so I'll send you to Kuyang, and you also need to be merged. You guys will go to Mung. And the last group will then take place in Changchang. There's a lot of Angs today. And now let's deal with the troops that are positioned in the Middle Eastern areas of our country. And for that we will split up the transport ships. I will not split them up more than that, and they can just grab an admiral and get on their way. So they will basically pick up these 3 groups here. And perhaps, if that's not enough, we will assemble... Just a second, I have a cat situation here, so I'll be right back. Okay, sorry about that. We have like 2 cats, and one of them likes to sleep on top of the cat tree, and the other one sometimes wants to conquer it. So they're playing like a King of the Hill type of game, and this can get quite cat-like busy. Okay, so yeah, where were we? We sent our ships to grab the troops from the Middle East. You can maybe even hear one of the cats in the background because he's not happy. He got booted away from the hill. Okay, and then yeah, regarding troops, I was thinking also maybe we train some extra, because we have the manpower reserves to do it. One question would be, do we need it? I guess you can never have too much manpower or troops. We're already at over like 1.1 million troops. So let's do like maybe 3 groups. Sounds reasonable, right? We can definitely fit into the force limit at least. So siege. Let's make them assemble somewhere in the northern part of our lands here. So I'm thinking like 3 in a row. So let's do Damku, Nangchu, and whatever is the last territory here, Ningji. Yeah, so that should do it. So we'll have 3 more groups. I'm thinking that's gonna be enough troops to advance relatively quickly and not worry about them trying to swarm us in any place. And yeah, this does take into account our allies as well. Now, one thing I haven't thought about and that we got access to last time is that we could grab another idea. Most likely it will be either diplomatic or military idea, because we keep running into like the maximum monarch power gap with those 2 types of monarch points. So to my knowledge, well, I don't want to grab trade ideas or exploration ideas because our trade is good enough. We don't really need any extra income from there. Exploration, there's no like good use for the settlers. Actually, this makes me wonder, maybe we should like assign these 2 colonialists to some countries at least, so they're like not doing anything before proceed. Probably let's do it some like areas in Europe. So these 2 have actually 5 development, but maybe a little bit closer to Austria. So 9 development here, 21 here, 20. Oh, they're much more developed. So I might take my words back, because like 5 development sounds better than the other one. So we'll just assign these 2 guys like here in a row. We cannot send one here because something is being built in that territory, so we'll send them here instead. Okay, so our colonists are also doing something useful now. Now back to the idea group, right? So I kind of can outrule like trade and exploration from the diplomatic ideas. Maritime could be useful again if we went to against, I guess, England or something like that. Now influence is a lot to do with vassals and stuff. But as you can see, we're not paying with a lot of vassals in this game. I'm just not yet comfortable enough, I guess, to try to go for that route. Then the court ideas would be all about the estates and what you can do with them, I guess, plus reform, progress, growth, splendor, and so on. I guess it's too late for court ideas, but let's take a look at military ideas as well. So mercenaries we're using, but we're kind of trying to get rid of them. Naval ideas, so naval leader shock, combat penalty when landing -1, galley compatibility, naval leader fire, and so on. Yearly navy tradition. Those are like decent bonuses. Don't care about the sailor modifier and stuff much because we have a lot of sailors. Heavy ship compatibility and ship durability and so on. And moral of navies. So like given we are like have the largest navy in the world, we could consider this. But I'm not sure it gives us what we need because we'll be fighting Shun right now, later on probably Russia. Japan is on the cards as well. So realistically, probably Spain, but we could access them mostly through the land anyway. I mean, they have this area here where they could kind of block us out of. So like Great Britain probably would have the best bonuses in terms of like if we took naval ideas. Okay, but I never checked out plutocratic ideas. So it's about mercenary costs, regiment costs, national unrest, monthly reform progress, merchants, goods produced modifiers, development cost, and manpower recovery speed. So this manpower recovery speed would be nice, but the others are kinda meh. But I am like eyeing this quality ideas option. Because if infantry compatibility plus 10%, that's definitely useful. Then the army traditions for both army and navy, amazing. Cavalry we're not using, so this is kind of useless. Ship durability a little bit helping with our fleet. Then moral of navy, so again helping with the fleet. Naval attrition is so-so. But artillery compatibility, nice. And of course the extra 5% discipline wouldn't hurt us at all. So my current take would be that we go for quality ideas, just to help us fight better and keep the traditions up. Also the discipline is useful. So yeah, I think let's go for quality ideas. If anyone has any other suggestions, I'm welcome to them, but currently it seems like one of the better options for us. So I will not invest into it right now. We can just hold off for a little bit. But yeah, we can. I will keep the notification here just in case. Oh, yeah, we have two hegemon options now. So we can either become economic or military hegemon. Like, I'm not gonna pick them because we want our allies to be there. But this military hegemon having siege ability plus 20%, that's gonna become more and more fascinating as we go on. So we'll keep that in mind. Yeah, our units have suffered casualties, sure. We can upgrade flying battery to, well, mortar instead. We'll do that. So it was right here, let's do that. So the morale goes down for a little bit, but it will recover before the next war. We can upgrade some centers of trade as well. A couple of them actually. Let's do like one round of trade center upgrades. Now we will not summon a diet. Trade company investments again also probably. I mean, maybe we should do them. We have a lot of money to do anything what we want actually. So exiled armies will probably be unexiled in a little bit. We know about the overextension and, well, rebels are just part of the game at this point. Let's take a look at what we can build. So first of all, downholes. And this one we can build. Then let's look at trade stuff. Maybe just one of them. Now production. It's again sort just to be sure. So you can see maybe we can click, do like 10 clicks or so. And taxation. Oh, it's just getting worse and worse, the options here. What about manufacturers? Oh, we have like few good options here. Maybe let's do a few extra. Everything with 0.32 ducats. Okay, and no more furnaces that we can build. Now, let's check the manpower modifier buildings. Nothing great here, just maybe just a few 125s to click. But not probably a good investment. Okay, so seems like we have everything checked out. One more thing, are there any rebels on... There is one siege going on here. Okay, I guess it's the one that we're taking back from the rebels. So we're just ready to, well, unpause and start preparing for the next war. So a lot of provinces have been converted to Sunni over time, at least all the eligible ones. And now it's just a game of waiting a little bit and then starting our next war. Okay, so as scheduled, the royal marriage offer from Morocco. Whoever has been for a little bit longer knows that this is something that happens every stream. We also gain trade protection cast spell against Shun. We don't need it, but hey. And Luvo is offering us an alliance, of course. We can seize land. It's at 99% still. No need to do that. Take a hit on the loyalty of the various... What were they called? Estates, yeah. And I'm just gonna double check the alliances. So the Shun is allied with Korea. Korea is allied with Dai Viet, Ming, Shun and Bo, which we don't care about. We're not gonna mark them as co-belligerent because we don't want their lands this war. Now treaties on natural philosophy. We can gain one innovativeness. I believe we're already maxed out, so we can maybe just take the second option, which is all green stuff. You know, all of my state gains 10 loyalty plus tolerance of the truth faith +1. Okay, we just got the trade protection cast spell and lost it. That goes fast. And the religious center in Timbuktu has again done its job. It's like false reporting all the time. Now, I do want to spend some of our spy network. So maybe when we conquer Ottomans next time, we will have some cheaper areas that we can core faster or for cheaper administrative power. So nothing to do with revolutionary France. And what about revolutionary Spain? We could core some, well, fabricate some claims for that one. Now our troops are positioning nicely, plus we are actually training a bunch more. We're also gaining some prestige from religious conversions. We have our first rebels of the session. They got wiped as soon as they spawned because one of our troops was casually just walking past this Liuzhou province. Now is Shun expecting something? I mean, they can see that our forces are gathering behind their borders. Military leader has left us, that's fine, we don't care about that one. Religious center in the Colosseum. Now we'll gather all these three groups into the same place and then we'll go from there. By the sea, of course. I'm curious what our maximum manpower is, so it's almost 900,000 and we gain 11,000 troops in the reserves every month. Okay, so you guys all hop aboard and we will deliver you, let's say here in Waichao. You guys can also maybe go to the docks and perhaps upgrade yourselves a little bit. So a royal marriage offer from Transoxiana. Sure. We have a new Sultana, which is decent. 452. Now Delhi wants to trade favors for soldiers. Who wants to go somewhere? Shun wants to do something and so on. We don't really want to let anyone do anything that they don't need. So Yu is asking for military access. Just everybody has requests, but we're not taking on any requests right now. Okay. Country is wishing to hire condottieri. So is Yu fighting somebody? Oh, they're actually fighting Spain and their posse. Well, it's good for them, not, I guess. Yeah. Okay, some of the troops are already positioned nicely. You guys can maybe... No, you cannot upgrade any ships. So you'll be just chilling here for the time being. Shun does probably have some navy as well. 97 ships, actually. Korea has a decently sized navy. Maybe even better than us, but we do have a lot of galleys, so if we fight them we have to just pick some shorelines to do this at. You can just click and close a few more of these notifications. So religious center in the Florence Sea has also done its work. Korea wants to... Okay, Korea is also fighting against Spain. So all of that alliance is actually a little bit busy, which is good for us. But yeah, we will not give them access to our land. Still get it anyway, because we'll be warring Shun and Korea will join them as well. As planned. Wait, why are you guys together here? Didn't I send you to... probably because you got blocked because we lost military access to Shun, right? That happens sometimes. Now these 341k troops, we don't really have to wait for them to fully assemble, but then again, it's gonna be awkward if Shun starts fighting us and just picks off the single 1k troops that are on their way to their target designated groups. Now these two. Okay, so these three groups can move a bit further as well. Pretty sure I sent somebody to Nanchang or somewhere like that, but I guess maybe it was one of the blocked groups, so I'll redistribute the three groups that just came by boat. We still cannot upgrade any ships, so they're all latest and greatest versions of themselves. You can build province improvements. I know it. I know that. Thank you very much. Now, let's take the moment to just spend some military power to get some of these ideas. So infantry compatibility will definitely be useful in the first, well, in the following fight as well. Sounds good. Can we go for the next one as well? Not yet. It will require us to have 340 military power and we only have 255 available. So like 10 months or so remaining until we get there. Now these troops need to recover a little bit and they're also missing a general, so Can we afford more generals? Yes, we can. You guys need a general. Well, the peeps aren't that great because I guess our army tradition has fallen because we're not... Well, it's 95.6, so not too bad. And the next idea we'll unlock will also stop it from decreasing so quickly. Yep, sure, there are some religious conversions ongoing in Europe. Now you can see we are quite well populated when it comes to the southern part of Shun. Invited to 8 Al-Fitr. And Kilwa's opinion of Tunis changes by 1 plus 10. Has very little effect on our game at the moment. And probably in the future as well. So we lost an admiral here. We'll reassign the other one for the time being. But we do have the diplomatic power if needed to grab more admirals. Because we might want to go for like some of the sea battles as well. You know what would be the ideal outcome if Korea does not want to go to war with along with Shun, just because they're already in a quite a tricky war actually. So good rains, trade dispute against revolutionary Spain. And you can see that our new groups are also almost assembled. So you guys at least get the leader. The other ones I might have to borrow from the troops we have positioned near Europe. So let's just take a look. Probably ones that are like suppressing rebels autonomously could keep their leaders, but for example this group doesn't need it, and this group also doesn't need it. So we have 2 generals in the back pocket. One of them goes for this new group here, and the other one goes for the other new group that's about to finish assembling as well. You go to Dega. And I guess we'll wait for the last group to finish and then we'll get started. Because coring is going at a really decent speed. A little bit faster than we would prefer in that sense. But hopefully we can make good progress on Shun, especially with the help of our allies as well. Although last time they were not that fast or helpful. They're just moving back to their lands actually, slowly. Now one thing I did forget to do for these 2 new troops is to set them on forced march, because we have the ability to do it for free. Okay, so here's another... I will do this right now, at least for this group, because they're just stopping in one of the provinces. And you are going to Giego. We'll arrive there on the 16th of February. I will stop you there for a second. Give you forced march and you can move forward. Okay, so that means everybody's ready to go, right? Well, you guys are a bit far away because I forgot to move you further. But you can go to the usual. Okay, time to war. So let's declare war. Korea is still interested in joining the war. And we cannot mark them as co-belligerent because we don't really want their allies to join the war again. We will go for the imperialism casus belli just because it has better bonuses for us. And Transoxiana and Tel here, welcome to join us. So you can see we are facing around 450,000 troops. And just our infantry is like twice that, so should be good to go. Let's confirm and get started. So first things first are the forts near the borders. So you can see you probably will go to Anjing. You guys will do the usual of loaning your artillery to them. And you will take over Huizhou. Then, do we have any other fortresses here we can access? Okay, so you would go in a circle, which is not great. troops will just go a little bit to the eastern parts of Shun. Now, Wuchang has a fortress that needs artillery support. And perhaps you guys can also take over Guangzhou. So these two fortresses are covered. What's next? I see one in Yuanling. Just taking a quick look at the pips for siege. So definitely this group should be here. And oh, we have a full infantry group here. So actually the siege will be coming from down here. So please go to Yuanling and take over Zhenzuan as well. And you guys can just stick around and help out in Yingzhou, for example. Now some troops are still without work, so I see Bozhou has a fortress. And now we have to be a little bit careful not to spread our troops too much. I would say you guys loan your artillery to Bozhou fortress. And in the meantime just stay nearby. And then do we have a fortress in the northern border? There is one option to go to Tianshui. And have like 3 troops around, actually 4 troops even. So yeah, let's go there as well. Your artillery will be useful there. And then you guys can just stay nearby. And I will not go for another fort. We could theoretically go for the Hami fort as well, but let's leave our allies something as well. So probably Langzhou, oh no, Shanggu is the destination for you guys. And yeah, now we'll have to check if anybody is lacking work or not. What are you guys doing here? Kinda overlooked you, didn't I? So you can just move closer to Shun and we'll find you work later once you get there. Should we perhaps try to fight the ships of Shun if they're interested in a quick battle? Seems like they might be. So 8th of March we will arrive there and Shun is there until the 14th of March. We do have a leader assigned, but they don't. So let's take a look at this battle while other things are going on. So they're losing some troops or ships already. Oh, we lost. What's going on here? Aha. See, probably... What are you guys? You're just a mixed group. Should we maybe send the mercenaries after these troops? They're a little bit low on morale. Yeah, I should pay closer attention to what is happening here. And let us take actually a second look. So I don't see any enemy troops anywhere else nearby. So a little mishap, but hopefully that's okay. So the Battle of Taiwan Strait, we won. We will go repair. We are not currently sieging any fortresses near the coastline, so no need for the ships to be. We just move a little bit closer though. Shuzhou is like a good destination to repair at. There is this enemy invasion danger, but we know we just beat their navy, so I don't think we need to worry about that one. There is a great project we can upgrade while we're doing things here, so. And was this the first territory we actually grabbed? Oh, they're coming in a row now, because we pretty much assigned all the troops to go there at the same time. I see a problem here, eh? I'm probably not gonna commit that many troops into this one, so hopefully we don't get stack wiped, but is it the mercenary group? Probably want to retreat in any case, so 3 days, 2 days, 1 day. And we can go here. Yeah, they're fighting a little bit, so but it's okay. Oh, we also lost our military leader. Okay. Lessons learned: don't underestimate your enemy. The classics. Okay, so you can see one of the troops is just chilling here. Maybe you can go to Xining. And we have this lonely troop also just getting closer and closer to Shun. The power of the fleet giving us recover navy morale speed plus 10%. Sure. White Chow has some separatists who are not happy with the situation. I guess you guys can take care of them for the time being. Okay, so religious center in Hangzhou has done its work. We will probably recruit another general if we can. Yes, we can. It's questionable though. Yeah, let's do it anyway. Because we kind of need more points also for the next ideas. And now when it comes to the military power at least. So every spent point is kind of like... need to be a bit more considerate. Okay, so can you guys move a bit further? No. So all of these areas. What about the fortress in Chengdu? It's just level 2, so maybe you can solo siege it. The treasure fleet has brought us 100 ducats. And some separatists have taken control over one of our provinces. Now these two groups should be able to recover relatively quickly. We do have the manpower. And just give them a month or two to chill there. How is Korea doing? So I can see they're not doing great against revolutionary Spain. How is their manpower now? Maybe they're just having naval battles, but... 219k troops, that's pretty much what we saw before, right? Okay, so the first fortress sieges are going nicely, because you can see already 28% progress here. This one is at 35 even. Yeah, like almost all of them are positive besides the one in Chenshui. We are at 56,000 ducats. Not a good position to be in. Now you guys can go maybe to Wuling as well. Let's grab the free provinces around the fortresses that we can. Also see maybe you guys can take Jiaozhou. This area can just be... I'm surprised you can go through this part of the wasteland. Even though it says you cannot be traveler. Okay, I guess the arrows are just a bit wrong, because you can see there's a connection between the Zhanghang and Zhengzhou. Now, which is the first fortress to fall? I believe this one, in Yuanling. Our allies are also here, sieging the fortresses. Amazing. Transoxiana with their 110k troops plus, like a lot of troops actually following them. So my allies are gathering power as we go forward on the map. Hopefully they'll stay as allies as long as possible. So you can see that the last siege phase did not trigger the conquest of Yanling. Now, you guys. Huh, so Beaujeu was the first one actually. Well, congratulations to you, you can continue sieging in Zhongying. So minus 7% here. Well, this is just a level 2 fortress in Chengdu, so should be relatively quick. One siege phase around here is 39 days, so nothing like we had against the Ottomans. Yeah, they're a little bit broken. So Yanling is also done. Can we move you guys forward to Xi'an, for example? Oh, that's a long route around. Don't really like that option. Maybe go to Tongren for the time being. We might just have to wait until at least, for example, Wuchan finishes the siege, so we can go a bit further from, well, through the middle instead of going in a circle. So you guys will go continue in Luan. What I do want to do is just hold these artillery for a bit, so they just go all together. There's a little bit of a bigger group that way. And you will also just have the forced march. Oh, okay, you're so far already. So you guys will go to Xi'an. And we will also assign some troops to take over 3 provinces around. So you go to Runing. Can you go to Hefei? No, not like in such a big circle. I mean, maybe all of you 3 can just go to Huaiyan for the time being. And we'll spread you up if there are no enemies on the way there. Okay, so you can see our allies are also doing nicely. It's at 0% their siege. You should go to Luzhu. Maybe later to Tongren. 60k ducats, what to do with that? I mean, we do have some great projects that we could take care of. But none of them are critical to our success. Where are the enemies? Ah, I see some of them are like going to Transoxiana and just going in a circle. So Anjing is also done. Maybe you guys go to Beijing. Kinda rhymes with the previous province. Wait. Mandatory things first. So you guys will force march just because it's so far away. I will split this group up otherwise. Okay, I don't see enemy resistance here. I guess they all went for the Transoxiana territory, just trying to make our allies give up faster than they would get siege down themselves. Okay, we keep getting decent amounts of prestige from the conversions. Now 14% over here. They have like some fortresses near Korea and so on. But I guess we're kind of like in the most heavily fortified areas right now. So once we get through this initial set of sieges, should be able to grab the rest of the land relatively quickly. I will send my navy here, just in case once we grab this Zhangzhou, their navy will have to leave the port. And we'll meet our people just cheering them nicely. So Chengdu is done. Also we already finished scoring some of the provinces, so means that the rebels can chill, because our overextension is a little bit lower than 100%. So you guys will go to Langzhong. We're also grabbing a few provinces here, as you can see. So the skills of the Sultana. Kilwa gets Royal Mediator. Diplomatic technology cost minus 10%. Nice. Probably not, probably the least useful at this point, but still nice. So this siege, wait, what was this for? Ah, it's just level 2. Okay, we need to have a new target for you guys. So Datong is probably a good place to go. So some places have been occupied by us. Now this one is a little bit like a showstopper, isn't it? So you will go to Langzhong, probably Hangzhong for you guys. And then these two are also just chilling here. So I'll send you to Luoyang, you will go to Nanyang, and then you will go to Hefei. And you guys are also just waiting here. So Shangzhou, Haizhou, and Xuzhou. They all have this Zhu at the end. A bit tricky to pronounce. Now we also will add these areas to the trade companies. There were like several of them that got cored, but not too many, I guess. And I think also we will remove some of the fortresses here, because let's keep the ones near the coastline though. But let's remove some of the inline ones. We do also have to keep in mind that if, for example, Delhi becomes one of our enemies in the near future, the fortresses that are near their borders are probably going to be useful. Just freeing up some ducats per month, but just like minor wins at this point. Like if you check how much goes to the fortresses per month, it's a ridiculous amount of ducats. We still are 1.5k in surplus. And we have this like additional security that if somebody from somewhere starts conquering our lands that we do not expect, we have some fortresses on the way. So you can see that there's a naval battle going on here. And it's over already. Missed it a little bit. So they lost 2 galleys and they just have the war galleons or whatever they're called and the transport ships. So you guys will go repair. They will just move a bit further before they will be forced to undock again. Okay, we'll take a quick pause. Are there any territories you can go to? Maybe Pyongyang? I don't remember sending anybody over there. This area is also kind of quiet, so these 2 areas are yours to grab. Now, how is Transoxiana doing? Well, they're being slowly conquered. I can see like half of Korean troops here running around without any generals, by the way. Now, Sufi syncretism. I guess we'll do this first option towards mysticism. Ulama loses 10 loyalty, but they're at 100 anyway, which is great. We'll give the troops a little bit more time to siege before we can reassign most of them. We have some rebels spawns. Like this mercenary group that we had here, is it assigned to also take care of the rebels that far? Yeah, actually they are. I will also assign them the Bengal areas, because probably there will be needed there anyway soon. Okay, let's unpause. Now Hefei has been occupied by us and Haishu, and things are just being conquered as we go. Again, we might not need 100% war score in order to get what we want. And just for your information, we'll be going for the coastline first, maybe all the way to Korea, if possible, just to make our trade route even stronger. And just one of the ideas here was to have a run where we control as much of the coastline on the map as possible by the end. Okay, you guys can go to Shanghai. And there's also one province here that needs to be taken. It's a bit too far for you guys. Because the one's in... Okay, so there's another siege that was ended. Level 8, by the way. You can see some action going on between Delhi and Shun. Do you have any fortress that you could siege, is the question though. So I will switch it to force march. Let's look a little bit further. So it looks like we have to look even as far as like Barak or Shenyang. You guys go to Shenyang. And hopefully that's not too far away, but you can also see that Beijing is being like he's almost taken, so by the time these guys pass, maybe it's already ours. So another fortress, one of the tougher ones down here. That means that you guys go to Barak. I think that's the way. So Loyang has been occupied by us. Nice. And you can see the southern part of Shun is already like under our control. We'll make sure we grab these areas around the Hami fortress as well. Or maybe our allies will help with that. Okay, you guys go to Fuyang. And you guys... Oh, Beijing siege is also over. We'll go to Laizhou, and what we will do, we'll send our fleet over here to assist so that they can pick off the enemy navy a little bit more even. Okay, you guys can go to Wuding. The Beijing siegers. Do you have any target? Okay, you have actually. I believe I sent somebody to Xinjiang. So Hetu maybe is a target. A valid target for you. Where are you guys going? Okay, you're going to the east. So, yeah, I can see a few areas that we can grab over here. You guys are not doing anything either. I guess you'll be the ones cleaning up like the areas to the west. Okay, so Kilwa has occupied another area. It's like being painted nicely green down in the south at least. We'll keep moving towards mysticism. Okay, you guys can go further to Zhending. And you can maybe do Kaifeng and what is this place called? Viking. It's like Viking. Kilwa's opinion of Korat changed by 10, nice. You guys move further north. Delhi gave us... Okay, Commonwealth is no longer a valid rival for Kilwa. Well, that's too bad. That means only Spain is like a valid rival for us, isn't it? You can see that we eclipsed Commonwealth. Gives us 10 power projection. Okay, so we do have to revoke the embargo against them. Too bad. That's how it works. I don't see Shun troops anywhere nearby, so I guess some of them got beaten up and routed deeper into their provinces. You can still see they have not 190k troops, but nothing in reserve basically. We can also use propagate religion in some places. And we keep conquering their lands as we go. So Beijing is also taken. So we'll move you closer to the north. And yes, things are happening. And at a decent speed, I guess. So you can see the last areas that are being cored are at 94%. So we had another battle against Shun's fleet. They lost a bunch of, well, mostly galleys and some transport ships, but they still survived another round. I'm looking forward to where they go next, so we can have another battle in a bit. So probably they're going to this Pohai Sea or Korea Bay. Those are like likely options. I don't think they'll go further than that. So the siege of Luan is done. Meaning that we have another siege group that could go further. I believe I sent somebody to Barak. So maybe you guys go already all the way to Bijin. No, not if you cannot go there by foot. If that is the case, I would say I will just split you guys up again. Meaning that one of you will go to Yan'an and the other one will join like one of the infantry groups. Now let's take a moment to just maybe check how much war score we even need to conquer like Shun. What we ideally want to do is just go along the shorelines, make sure we have like a continuous path north. This will also kind of like prevent Spain from taking land from them that easily. Spain is probably our toughest competitor at the moment. So if we sue Shun for peace, what can we grab from here? So it would start from here. Let's just grab one territory at a time. Yeah, this one is also, Laiju is also something we need. We are at 45% overextension, 50, 68. Can we get to Korea? Yes, we can. Then from there we would just go along the landline. And 96, so 100.8% would be this option here. Oh, Shun has also areas over here. So maybe we will not be going that far along the coastline here, but we want to actually grab the areas here so that Spain doesn't take them. So this is 102%, we might take one away from here, so 98.1%. At the moment, we're getting quite close to them accepting the peace offer. We don't get that many provinces, to be fair, but I guess they're relatively high development cost then. But yeah, so regarding the upcoming wars, we will not be able to reach Russia from here. We can go fight Japan maybe, if they have like a interesting setup. With Japan we need to get all our troops across the sea though. So at the moment they're like 99 positive, 118 negative. We'll just keep warring them a bit. We also have like 4% to go regarding the core construction. So Pingliang has been occupied by Kilwa. Yes, we're getting all the lands here. With this speed we'll get to 118 positive approval in no time. So you guys go to Ningbo, I'll take you to Taiwan. What's going on here? Why are you with allied troops? Delhi. Don't need this attrition, maybe go to Yumen. You can see our allies are already taking over some of the areas here. So there are some separatists that have taken over one of our provinces, but it has no effect likely because of the fortress nearby. Ooh, a trade company boom. So we'll take the plus 10% trade efficiency. Don't really need the ducats as you can see. So we have lost Holy War Casus Belli against these guys, but why? I don't know. Maybe they were converted to our religion already. And also the Defender of Faith Casus Belli is gone. And we lost some claims to some provinces. Fabricated claims, but they don't know. They don't have to know about it, okay? Now, what is one of the targets we are going for? We still have some troops that can go even further north. I'll send them here just because we can, you know. You guys are just gonna go to Yongping after that. So this would be a nice moment to wrap up the war already. I don't think we're there yet. So you can see actually our approval rating went down 1 point, I think. Or up, I'm not sure. But yeah, clearly they just want to go a bit further. So probably maybe these 3 forts, you can see one of them is already almost fallen. Transoxiana forts are also being sieged, but we're probably faster than that. Faster than them at least. The siege of Xinjiang is over. You can go to, just in case, go to this Ninguta. So yeah, we'll grab like this area from Shun and just everything on the way to Korea in a continuous line. So Nkora is just all of a sudden our friend, even though we've been taking their provinces and just basically destroying their country. It's a odd decision from their perspective. Now I did have somebody go towards Karanarinula, I believe. Yes, the religious center somewhere there is doing a good job converting the provinces. Rebels have also been taken care of. Quick check again. So yeah, we're really close to being able to get the peace treaty that interests us. Just need like maybe one more siege or just a few more provinces around here. You can see there's actually 9.4k of Shun troops running around here. This could be like a candidate. Or we might as well be done already. So let's take a quick look. Let's pause. So if we were to order this by overextension, is there something else we can grab to not exceed 100%? So all of these areas are kind of not amazing. Maybe this one. And actually we could go for this as well. So these two areas are still something we can go for, which means like we need 5 more positive opinion. We'll be hitting 99.9% overextension, just like perfect. Cannot go more than that without getting this rebellious sentiments or whatever those things were called. Once you go too high regarding overextension. So there's like 2 candidates in terms of sieges to give us more points. Both the Barak siege and the Tong siege. We control another province, brilliant. And you can see that Barak siege actually won and was the first one to finish. I think we might be close again. So just a little bit missing. Now we can add some more provinces to the trade company. Let's do that. Shouldn't be that many. Just a few more. Bear with me. Nasirabad. We actually took like a decent amount of provinces from Bengal when we annexed them. No, it's not the last one. Okay, we did it. Thank you for sticking patiently with us throughout this trade company assignment process. Now, do we move a bit further is the question. Or like this fortress will be enough, maybe. I don't want to be surprised in Ninguta though. So Kilwa gains a claim on the West Gansu area. Or the Shun are our friends. I mean, West Gansu area. We will take the claim. We're not friends clearly, we're at war as you can see. How can the game even consider this option? So is this the successful siege phase? Yes it is. And I believe this concludes our great war against the country of Shun. So 99.9%. I will take a quick look just to check. Overextension is at 0. Perfect, that's what we want. So let's again go for the option to choose peace. And yeah, so these are the areas we will be claiming. Not a lot of Shun, but I guess like a lot of these are, if you scroll down a bit, they're like on the top end of, yeah, so you can see like several 9% overextension areas. Beijing and so on. And if we take a look at what happens regarding aggressive expansion, then yeah, it's somewhere between 0 and 67 penalty with 126 countries. Jaunpur is still not happy with us. Barat, Ottomans. Actually, we don't gain much with Ottomans because they're so far away, I guess. But congratulations to us. We won the first Kilwa Shun Imperialist War. The casualties were twice for us compared to the enemy defending. But we also had a lot more to spare, I guess, than them. And yeah, we have gained the conquest casus belli because we have more claims. We just got them. Now, first things first, we do have the admin points hopefully to start coring everything. Yeah, we have even 185 extra. Now, apparently we need to pick a rival. Oh, you only have one choice here, so Spain, here you go. And we definitely want to issue an embargo against them as well. If we do have some free diplomats, which we should have, yes. Issue embargo and let's go. So we have gained the Defender of the Faith casus belli. They are not loyal to the true faith of those Koreans. How dare they? Now there are some centers of trade we can upgrade again. And also invest in quality ideas. So we do not want our army and navy tradition to decline that fast. So let's do it right away. Useful even, or especially in between wars. Now we do have a free trader that we can assign somewhere. Scroll, scroll, scroll. So it seems like Chengdu is the next reasonable place. So this new guy will go there. Now we have a lot of troops running around all over the place. And a lot of them are like spread up in a way where the artillery needs to meet their infantry counterparty. So I will just try to spread them up like this so that we can kind of get this mess sorted out. Okay, you guys will, for the time being, move over here. And just move away from the enemy territories first and we'll get you sorted once you're back home. Or newly acquired homelands. We have a lot of troops that we need to manage right now. And we'll pretty much send all of them near the coastline. Did you guys... No, you haven't been sent to go anywhere yet. We'll fix that soon. Now let's see who starts moving and who doesn't. Definitely these guys could be moving eastward. Now what's going on here? To Quaratis Sunni philosopher join your court. They're 50% cheaper for us to employ. Okay, and 5 prestige. New mercenary companies are available for us. And also we gained the Holy War casus belli against Ming. And the Defender of the Faith casus belli apparently. What does it mean if we were to use the casus belli of Defender of Faith? I don't see it at the moment. Maybe let's wait for a day and then we'll see it. So there's no like specific casus belli that I can use. Strange. I would imagine I could pick just like a third option besides the imperialism and wait, Holy War is the one, isn't it? So yeah, just having this Holy War option here became available moments ago. You guys, what are you doing here? Just move somewhere to the eastern coast. Next war I'm considering now, like, Japan is relatively lonely. They have some dealings with So, and So is... What is So even, like, what kind of country is this? Where are they? They're like this one province minor here. So not much of a resistance from that perspective. They have 174k troops. I'll be honest, they look like the perfect target for us to go and attack next. And Tunis wants to ally us, actually, that's surprising. So they don't have strong allies, and they would give us some provinces like maybe closer to Russia, so we can go for Russia next. Just have like a was it like a platform to launch our attacks against Russia. Then again, we could probably just go for Russia at the moment. But Japan sounds like an interesting fight, doesn't it? And one question is how many ships do they have? So I saw the number 118. It's not enough to really scare us away from them. Yeah, and we're already here with our troops. So we'll give it a little bit of time. We'll let the troops come back to our territories. But after that, I think we'll just take on board, like, how many can we fit? 287k troops or something like that. Take them all near Japan and just land somewhere where there are no fortresses, so we can start like bringing on more troops than that even. Yeah, we cannot see the fortresses of Japan. Okay, so we can see some of them. So we can see fort level 8, 8, 8. Yeah, we'll just... I'm proposing we attack them from the north. So we can seize the land again. No use of this. Condottieri is also nothing we are interested in. Internal conflicts. How much time until our truce with Ottomans ends though? So we are talking about year 1780. Worth considering if we can go for Ottomans again after Japan, but the real issue is that we're far away from them now. What's their troop count? There's one option, like they only have 133k troops, meaning that if you just build up some troops, we basically have more than them already in the European section here. And yeah, 2 more extra here. So we might build like a troop or 2, or just bring 1 ship full of troops from the eastern side of our country. But in general, we can go for Ottomans right after Japan. Brilliant stuff. Yeah, I don't think Ottomans will pose much resistance against us. So Morocco is now offering us an alliance. These guys, there's too many of you here. So you can join an infantry group. You can also join an infantry group. And is there another infantry group nearby who's lacking siege? Not exactly nearby. So they're all moving closer to whatever. How did we end up again having you guys here? I think this troop will go to Shuru, right? Yeah, so you'll meet up there. And you are just far away from our lands. Everybody else is moving towards the right direction, I believe. Nobody is stranded in the lands of Shun. And we still have 1 exiled army that's about to be unexiled. That'll still close the hegemony options here. As you could see, our allies were quite useful in the last round of war. So I can upgrade some ships. So probably the ones that we took over from Shun. Now we'd have to do some quick mathematics. How many troops can we get over with 1 go? So let's say we don't want to bring on too many just because of the naval attrition, but also not too little because they do have like a decent sized army if they put them all together. So 174,000. Maybe let's do 200,000, so that would be like 5 groups. One ship, one trip for 5 groups. Okay, demands for representation. Oh, don't really want to lose administrative power, so we will make vague promises on reform. Okay, so we're almost ready to go for another war. Don't really need everyone to get here. How fast is our coring going? It's like really fast. When it's like you have to have the next set of provinces ready by the time you finish the previous ones to keep this smooth and to take the most out of the time we have remaining until the end of this Kilwa run. Okay, so we have converted some province to our religion again. Probably a few more pop-ups will arrive because they're always together. All the missionaries are kind of working at the same time. So we'll take a moment to reunite some groups that are... Actually, there's only one that hasn't been... One artillery group that hasn't been reunited with their infantry counterparty. So once you guys get there as well, that'll be good. Okay, so the goal was like 200,000 troops going against Japan. So there's one group here. 2, 3, 4, 5. So all of you will meet up in Laiju, and you guys also. So that will be a safe bet. We'll be using up a lot of our reserve manpower just to fight the attrition and so on, but it's on the safe side. And we are okay with manpower. Looks like at least the wars we've been having have been very low in terms of like using up manpower. So yes, our units have suffered casualties. Hopefully that doesn't last too long on the sea, on the land at least. I will position the ship into the right place already before we start the war, so we can start like moving towards the land right away. So as I said, we probably want to approach this from the northern side of Japan, as they usually don't have that many fortresses around there. So we can establish a foothold. Oh, well, I was just saying this, but I see a level 8 fortress over here. And the level 8 fortress over here. I could use like a few provinces that are nearby and not encumbered by a fortress. So if we go to Oshima, for example, those 5 groups that we have on board, 2 of them would go to Mucho Fortress and 2 of them would go to Takachi Fortress. One of them will just take over some provinces around here. So probably Chugaro Strait is where we'll start our next war. So Kilwan Australian treasure fleet keeps sending us ducats, we appreciate it. You can see that kind of Spain got there as well, like conquering pieces of our colonial nation. Tried to keep them away from there in the beginning, but it didn't work out so well. So now we just have to keep an eye on our navy. One more thing I will do is I will just send the troops closer to potentially be onboarded again and taken to Japan in another trip, in a follow-up trip, so to speak. Hopefully we don't struggle with any attrition on the sea here. Japan Basin. So Chugaro Strait is our destination and we're almost there. We should have a diplomat free to start the war. Yes, we do. Multiple actually. We might start building a spy network just to make the sieges a bit smoother. And we still have like... I mean, I'll stop spying on revolutionary France, for example, just to have a little bit extra free diplomats in case we need it urgently. Haven't checked the Great Wars screen in a while, so we're still ahead by a lot from Spain, but they're still like quite tough ones from that perspective. How many troops do they have? 847k. So yeah, they're like comparable to our troop size. Okay, we're here. So you can see that Japan is drilling here. So if we could land our troops on top of them, we could probably sweep them quite nicely, like 1/3 of their troops actually. But I imagine they'll be running away from us instead. So let's declare war and let's get this party started. So he's not even eager to join them. And also our allies are too far, I guess, to join this war. So you can see it's distant. And I don't blame them. Now we cannot send the diplomat until the 7th of May just because we sent one to build the spy network. Okay, fair. We'll just wait for a few more days and then we can do it. Why is so not happy to join this war? So their army strength is not doing them any favors. Well, understandable. One province minor, and so ruler is malevolent, which is also not great for Japan. I mean, let's be honest, for so it's probably the best option not to join this war. You guys can see that Japan already got the hint that something might be happening. So we'll declare imperialism will be the casus belli, and you please transport everything to this province called Oshima. So our heir falls ill. Now, interesting times. Our leader is like 40 years old. Our heir is like decent, nothing special. So the question is, do we wanna try to save them or just risk it and maybe get the better heir instead? It's kind of the lottery part of EU4, isn't it? So I think let's have the fate decide. Yeah. Let's not spend money on this. Okay. Our heir died, but I would say we got like similar but a little bit better heir. Their claim is weak, of course, but they have time to grow up and have this number go up as well as they do it. So Lhasa has been converted, I guess, or religious center has done its work there. We also got rid of 15 trade ships from Japan as a bonus to begin with. And these guys will be landing in... Okay, we lost one of the generals, I guess, on the way to Oshima. You can see like the troops are arriving there at the very different times. The first one's already on the 10th of June. So they can already start sieging down the province. And yeah, we'll suffer a lot of attrition for the first group, but the next one should be so much better because we can just land our troops here. And the main blocker will be this port here in Mutsu. It opens up a little bit after that once we get further. So maybe we don't want this first group to be here, but just go to Mutsu instead right away. You do have 3 pips in siege, which is nice. And there will be like the artillery part of the next group will join you in Mutsu. And then we'll have to kind of... oh, we cannot go there actually yet. Yeah, it's like we're stacking a little bit, so maybe we'll do... Can we build supply depot here? Maybe once we take over this province. Yeah, let's do that. So 1,000 troops of Japan. Oh, okay, what's going on here? So corruption. Try to eradicate the problem for 1 stability. Or gain 1 corruption. We'll gain corruption because we really appreciate administrative points and we don't want to use them for stability. Okay, so these ships will likely have to support the siege in Mutsu. I don't think we will be bringing the other troops right now. But we do need support from blockading the province here. Shima has been taken over. That means we can hopefully build a supply depot. So this costs us 20 military power and gives us more supply limit modifier. Can you guys actually, yeah, so you can probably go to the next siege over here. I will loan your this artillery. I will also make the force march. Can you guys also force march just in case for future sieges? Now we have 21k infantry here. Can you go to Kamikawa? No, you cannot. So basically 60k troops will remain here, and with the supply depot maybe they won't really suffer any attrition penalty. 62. Yeah, should be fine. So this siege is... Well, the ships are in the wrong sea at the moment, but they'll get to Sanriku coast in a moment, and that means the naval blockade should be placed there. Yeah, so we're kind of helping them out as much as we can right now. So yeah, as said, this Mutsu siege will be the most important one. Tokachi is also nice to grab while we're here, but oh, look at their troops. What are you doing here? So they're just chilling like on the islands here. Spread away, oh well, separated from the rest of their country effectively. That's a really weird troop placement from Japan. I don't know what it... So 1/3 of their troops are basically isolated from the rest, so that means once we take care of them, the rest of the troops will just be watching how we siege down their fortresses. Now -7%. Still cannot go to Kamikawa, right? I'm not gonna split up our navy just to support this siege in Tokachi, because it has time to finish whenever. It's not a problematic one here. Now there are some Japanese ships here blockading us from going to Mutsu, but jokes on them, because we don't really want to go there with more troops than we already have there. How is the coring process going? So 41%. Well, we just started the war and I'm expecting it to speed up as we go. So you can see it's already at 0%. We will not use the military power for the breaches, because you know we're gathering this up for the ideas. So these guys will just have to manage with their own forces. They have like decent bonuses from the general and also from having so much artillery. How long is the siege phase? 32 days is better than what we had against Shun, which was like 39. So maybe a few months more and we'll have this Mutsu fortress. Oh, lovely. We also caught the break with the breach of the walls. But surprising that this Tokachi fortress is also doing so nicely, even without blockading the sea. So we have some situation going on in Dega, but we already have mercenaries taking care of it. While we're waiting here, I'm also curious, what is our army professionalism doing? So it's at 35.52%. The next milestone, which requires 40%, allows to refill garrisons. Never really used that one. But regain manpower when disbanding can be useful in some situations where it's too tricky to move all the forces from one side of the world to the other. Now there is some battle going on. Are they actually trying to fight us? So what I will likely be doing here, if they do want to fight. We need to reinforce. When is this fight gonna happen? So 29th of October. We really need to get quickly. Can you guys move across the water? No, you cannot. So we have a situation that's evolving here, and we definitely don't want to lose this siege here because that would set us back quite a bit. So what we will do, I believe, is we'll get our fastest ships, which should be the trade ones. We'll give you a leader as well, just in case you got the nice one. Then we'll take the next group of likely the fastest ships, which is going to be the transport. And then everybody else goes there. And we'll try to clear up the Tsugaru Strait as soon as possible so we can start reinforcing. You can see the numbers are in our favor, that's nice, but they do have like 56k reinforcement, so we definitely need our troops to be close here. Tokachi siege has also ended, meaning that you guys should start moving towards where the action is happening. Okay. We're doing nicely in terms of like what we have and so on, but these 3 ships are a little bit of an issue. Yeah, we might lose this siege. Don't have enough time to... Okay. Okay, so let's see. Everybody is force marching, right? They are very clever. So right now we would get there by the 24th of November, which is not good. So I'll probably take these troops back and we'll just go with the other ones. Yeah, it's too bad. We lost progress on the Muchu fortress, but we might then just approach Japan from another way as well. And don't forget they still have 53k troops here. So they basically used everything they had here to fight us in Muchu. Fair from them, I must admit. But hopefully we have enough troops to just discourage them a little bit. So we are actually getting some heavy losses, but we do have reinforcements coming. So now it's okay, they kind of gave up at the moment. It was quite close still. Closer than we would prefer, right? Battle of Muchu. So the Battle of Muchu continues. From scratch, I guess. Now we do have to consider maybe we'll split our navy still into 2, which I didn't want to do before. But like seeing that we might get into some nasty situations, we might have to do it regardless. So this 7.8k troops can just go back and recover a little bit. This artillery can remain here. You guys should also return and recover. And this is the siege group I want to have. So there is another 27.4k that we need to retreat with. So they did retreat, which means they took like a decent moral hit. It's okay. They got one of their victories like against us. We could go for this 53k troops here now, once we recover a little bit. But we have to keep in mind, they might come for round 2. How many troops do they have in reserve? So still 89k, enough to basically replenish everything they lost. So we have this siege group over here. Just recover. Don't need to. No need to do anything more than that at the moment. Wait. You guys are trying to fight us again, aren't you? So I'm thinking, let's give it like a few ticks. So we have 12.4. I don't mind fighting around this fortress. How is your morale? It's pretty high, isn't it? So we might just send everybody from here to there, but this kind of exposes this sieging group again for a month. And we might use the transport ships just to get everybody there faster. So let's see. No, they just changed their mind about wanting to come here. So we will do the same. We'll just wait a little bit longer until we replenish the troops, and we will be more confident about our ability to go one way or another. I don't think we started from scratch regarding this siege, did we? Or we just got so lucky about getting back to +7. What's the pips like? So we still have 3 siege pips from this general. We still have the blockade from the navy. Oh, you can see we're already at like 60% in terms of coring. Okay, merchants are worried about lack of protection. So maybe there is something we can do. For 25 diplomatic power we gain 1 mercantilism. Mercantilism. That's fair. Now keep in mind we are still restoring our manpower, like 61,000 to 44 in 1 month. Okay, so friends in need. If we give Transoxiana, we can give them 5,000 manpower and their opinion will increase towards us by 75. That's nice. Yeah, I think we'll just send the manpower and it's like half of our monthly manpower income. Even less than that. We can spare it for our good allies. So the 53k troops that are waiting in the north do not want to come to visit us anymore. It's a bit unfortunate. The other thing is that then we might take care of them ourselves because we don't want our behind our backlines to be safe. So we'll wait another siege phase. I guess another month to restore the troops, and then we can start pushing towards the guys on the Cisimaretto province. Is this good enough? I mean, I'll send you guys already like to Tokachi, and then you'll all together go face the other ones. Yeah, I want all of you to be force marching again. Maybe we'll send you on your way in the beginning of April. Because if you're force marching and moving, you're not really recovering anything. So it seems like our settlement growth has paid off. We get base manpower +1. Lost a military leader somewhere in Africa. Oh, our Sultana died again. What is going on there? Why do they keep dying? Well, we'll maybe get the new one soon. Let's see. So Jampur is asking for military access. We cannot allow for this. They don't like us much anyway. Now we are at 21% and we're almost in April, meaning we can just go for the next fight here. Just double checking. I don't see the Japanese troops approaching our fort siege. So this should ideally be okay. Don't have a leader for this army. Oh, that's been fixed. So we have... Wait, did I give a leader to... Okay, I hope it's all good. Let's start moving towards the Japanese troops. The only thing that could stop them is... Well, if they brought their navy over there and stopped our movement, but... Most of their navy, or basically maybe all of it at this point, is just sitting in the docks. Battle of Luangnatma. Okay. We just fought some rebels over there. We do have some corruption from one of the choices earlier, but It's decreasing, I guess, at a relatively nice speed. Now there is a fight that's about to go on. It starts on the 23rd of April. Yeah, the timing, a traveling minstrel will take the admin power. So only 15k, okay, they're all arriving in a row now, I guess. And ideally we'll be stack wiping this set of troops. Unless we get like really bad rolls and they just kick our butts instead. So Ottoman separatists have risen up. We have somebody to take care of them here. Why don't you guys have like a general? I will free up a general from you so the rebel fighting group can have their own general. This is a bit concerning. Well, we still have 20k troops in reserve, so it's more even at this point. Let's take a look. So we do have like a -2 crossing penalty. I guess that was the ouch part. But we just are overwhelming them in terms of the number, so it should be okay. Did we stack wipe them? We didn't. What if we move these ships over here? Will they be... I guess they will just be fighting against us again. So they would be arriving on the 9th of June. But since we're blockading their path, they should just turn around and just, well, be stack wiped. And I guess they're gone now. Yeah, so that's how it worked. I will leave just one troop here taking over the province. Everyone else can just go back towards the front lines. Okay, this was a front line, wasn't it though? And the smallest one will stay on the island and take it over for us. We will bring back our ships towards the Tsugaru Strait. Now, given that I guess all of their navy is sitting in the port over here in Mutsu, I think how we might want to split up our navy is that we want to send more of them to the Sanrico coast. So let's make it so that all the frigates are going to Sanrico. It should be coastline, so frigates should get the bonus. And in case there is a fight, most of the frigates will be there. And we just need some extra like heavy ships and stuff to protect the the transport ships that we have. So the siege of Mutsu has ended, meaning that on the 16th of June there will be a fight. 18th of June the frigates will be there. Just in case, grab an admiral. I don't know if it changes anything. But we can move forward with our troops now. Do we want to go as far as Hitachi maybe? Yeah, our reinforcements are just a little bit far away. It's like advancing too fast is also, as you could see from before, a little bit tricky or dangerous. So Japan has 96k troops at the moment with 106k in reserves. They can restore their original number of troops with that and just have some extra as well. So you can see a sea battle is going on here. Let's just take a look. It just ended, so they lost like 3 trade ships and we gained one of them. So let's give it a day. We can reunite all the ships over here. Now I will send this group closer to Hitachi right away as a backup. And these guys will probably actually take place or take their space in the port in Rikuzen, which we will want to take over as soon as possible so they don't get to recover too much or heal up, so to speak. Now there is a siege group that will go to Ugo. an infantry group that will go here, and a full group that will see what's going on in the province of Echigo. So prestige gained from the religious conversion. These guys took over the province as well, so we'll move you to Mutsu. Yeah, we need to relax in a few provinces for a few months so that we can recover all those groups that we have running around here and are taking part of most of the action stuff we have here. Now to speed up the process, you can see there's a fortress over here. So if we were to land another, like let's say 200,000 troops here, or close to that, that means we could start taking Japan over from the southern part as well, and seeing how slowly we are advancing at the moment. Well, let's first take a look at the sea battle. Another one is happening in a moment's time, and then decide what we do with the fortresses in the south. Do we need more troops there, or shall we just start pushing from the north even more? So the Japanese are losing ships, 2 at a time, 1 at a time. We are getting some decent rolls. Hugo has been occupied by us. They lost one lonely. How do they call those big ships? I'm not sure. I keep forgetting. Heavy ships. Okay, that makes sense. Heavy trade galleys and transport ships. We'll move you even further. You guys can probably also move a bit to the southern aspects of Japan, because there's not much to do in the north anymore. Hopefully. I mean, these guys have to get across to Mutsu, but that's about it. Now, I believe we can also go to the fortress in Shinano. So, sieging 2 fortresses at the same time. We are only lacking the artillery group, which is here. And you guys go... Okay, you cannot go here, but you can... Can't you take over Shimachuka? Apparently not, so I will just place you in Chigo instead. Uzen has been occupied by Kilwa. There's not much to do, you can just move a bit further. Oh, are we gonna have a battle? No, it's just like they're building up their troops again, so I thought we are gonna have some sort of a battle ongoing here in Shinano, but not gonna happen. You guys can also move a bit closer. And once we stabilize the situation, actually Hitachi is almost done, and it's a level 8 fortress. And I'm shocked how fast it goes, because the siege phase is 15 days. Huh. They're not very defensive, so they're not applying the defensive edict for this region. Hitachi is done, meaning that we can move even further. Where's the next fortress? Can we even get to the next fortress before we... Like this middle one, Shinano, is gonna be a blocker, isn't it? Okay. So this means that instead of going to the fortress, maybe we'll just go capture some provinces instead. And yeah, you guys can reunite with your infantry right here. So another 1k of Japanese troops evaporated. We can also take our place in Gotsuka. What's the situation with siege pips here? So we have 3 pips on the siege for the general. That's good enough. No need to do anything about that one. You guys can move a bit further. I know your siege is currently active in the only fortress siege we have, in Shinano. So Kilwa occupied Shimachuka. you guys can just be a single united group again. And we're just taking over all the territories we can from here without access to the second fortress. Is this one also like 15 days per siege phase? Well, not 15, but 19 is also relatively quick. Now I want to take over Gozuka so I can move you guys a bit forward. Lovely. I'll just move all the troops as far as we can. The military leader has left us at a really uncomfortable time. But it's okay. So Shimusa has been occupied by us. And there's nothing else for you guys to do, is there? No, I don't. No, don't go by ship. It's already lost the opportunity to make them not go anywhere. Yep, that's gonna work. And we cannot move further than that. So after this siege, we got another. Well, we kind of annihilated their navy. So if you take a look at their ships, there's like, I don't know, less than 15 ships remaining. Now Delhi wants to do royal marriage with us. We'll gladly accept. Oh, that's a rough sultana, but just in case we have a backup and not to end up in a regency at a really critical time. Remember when I started playing EU4, it probably, there wasn't this aspect of sultana or something, like once you lost your leader you just were in a regency and you were like, okay, no wars for like 5 years or 10 or whichever was the case. Now we'll move you guys forward, you will also move forward, and we'll just wait for the siege to end then. We are almost done with the course. Clearly we're not gonna make it there again. Actually, I wouldn't be surprised if like our war score will be more or less enough. Like, let's just take a quick look, you know, out of curiosity. If we just take the northern parts of Japan, how much can we grab before we run into the overextension cap? So all these areas we already have under our control, and they would still be okay with it. But we want to go even further. So probably this fortress is the key. But beyond that... Oh, this is unfortunate, like this region over here. We cannot grab it. We would just leave like one province of Japan here. Well, it's even more unfortunate or inconvenient for them. So 99.9% again. And we are lacking... Well, we probably need the siege to be done. Maybe push a bit forward after that. So we'll not be having too much downtime in terms of coring. Mercenary company has a new general, sure. Fine by us. Now we have 120,000 ducats. I understand 999k or 1 million is like the max you can see there. Go, go guys. You have a 40% chance of finishing up the siege next siege phase. And we will be done coring, well, basically at the same time as the next siege phase wraps up, so would be nice timing. Where are you guys going? How can you bypass us? So there's 145,000 of you. They're going to Ichigo. Should we care about that? I'm just thinking quickly. Maybe we'll mind our own business for the time being, but they will be bringing back the control over Ichigo here. And since the next fortress was in Mutsu... Okay, we finished up the coring. It's a lot of clicking. While we're thinking about things, we will just assign these provinces to the trade company. I will do it like this because it's like a relatively easy to follow the coastline this time. So all of these areas will be part of a trade company. Definitely less clicks by if you know where to put the trade company provinces at. Beijing was done already. There's one more over here. So these two are also done. Yeah, we got like a good number of provinces from Shun in the previous war. Now this one should also be good to go, and I believe Shuzhou, no, okay, that was already ours. And there were a few provinces over here. They will all be parts of the trade company. Was it just 2 or was it 3? No, that was 3. Okay. Apparently I missed something. Okay, yeah, this was like a bonus provinces. We got like for 0.9% overextension. And we're good to go from that perspective. Now, yeah, this 145,000 troops. We can match it. And they are they gonna come for Kozukai? Like, what if we placed our troops here first? So they would be arriving on the 9th of January. But if we force March, we'll be getting there on the 5th of January. We would like to make them have the crossing penalty and then we can face them. So let's make it so that, yeah, make sure everybody's force marching. You also need a general. So we will... Oh, I'll grab a general from the coastline here. For example, you will have no leader. And you will go to this group. Now, like, since these guys will be the first there, maybe they will stop though. That's also an option. Seeing how our troops are moving towards that place. Right now we get there by the 5th of January. We could wait a few days so that they would lock in, right? I will make these guys move. You will stay here, but you will move closer. So let's wait for 1 day. Another day. Now we would get there on the 7th, but they will get there on the 9th. We can wait 1 more day. So they're locked in now. Perfect. I do not want to break the siege though. So this is gonna be how it's happening. You guys will get there 2 days after the first fight has been happening. And what about your general? You have decent pips, I guess, yeah, and good maneuver, so I'll keep you like that. Also, before this fight, we'll do our ritual of assigning a trade, well, a merchant to a trade route to send us or forward the trade power from somewhere. So Nippon is apparently the next trade node where we have the most trade power without having a merchant there. So let's send one. We only gained 1 with our new provinces. Okay, let's unpause and see, check out the war here. So a battle against Japan. Should be fun. So you can see we got there first. And they have split their troops. Another benefit for us. We'll see if these guys turn around or not, but in any case. We'll have to survive a day or 2 without the rest of our group. But you can see they're also having like a crossing penalty and also the rain penalty. Not a great situation for them to be in. And we are like outnumbering them. Having 2 times more troops than them. I don't know if we want to go for this group though. It's like they're relatively tough fighters considering where they are. So they retreated with this group over here. 128k troops. Like, even if we go for it, let's just wait a second. So probably want to remove force marching then, just to recover a bit. But given that they are so disadvantaged, are we crossing a river if we go to them? That's another question. So none of them are forced marching, so I'll send you all to Rikuzen first. Does it count the river crossing if we cross from a province with a river or into a province with a river? I mean, I would expect it to be like if we go into a province with a river, it would count. But we're about to find out. So for example, you guys, we do get the -1 penalty due to hills, but that's about it. And we also recovered a little bit. So on the 7th of February we would be able to attack them. We have twice the numbers and we will probably be getting, well, -1 into our attack rolls. I want to go for it. Just a little bit of a risk. And also, like before having the fun part, I see we have issues with diplomatic power. We can develop a little bit. So let's do development. Let's check out the cost. Let's do the first ones in the list. Let's do like 800 or something like that. Yeah, that should do it. At least for the current war. Okay, let's get back to Japan. Let's see what's gonna happen in this war. So the siege of Shinano is also ended, and I think you guys, just in case, start walking towards that fight as well. We might need you. So first troops are there. I will also open up the siege view so everybody can take a look at what's going on. So you can see we do have a terrain negative modifier. I'm just hoping on the numbers at this point. I also have some reinforcements coming in. I don't think they stand a chance though. Yeah, it's like they're already retreating. Like, okay, that's great. So we did get 2 points of war score there as well. Maybe we can already sue for peace. Let's check it out. Not even close. So 61 war score we need. Let's keep pushing forward. It will maybe take a month or a few to get that war score. Especially since their capital should be nearby. You can see Kyoto is over here. Yeah. Okay, I will give you guys all forced march because we need to do this relatively quickly. So everybody has forced march on, and then we'll send one full group to siege. Well, how are the fortresses here? So I can see, well, nothing in this region, and then it's Kyoto. But Kyoto doesn't, it's level 1, so it doesn't stop us from advancing to Yamato and Tango fortresses. So I guess it will be mostly sieging those two fortresses. Okay, you guys will also go to Tango. You will go to Yamato. You should bring along the siege group. I will also make them force march. And then this infantry group will go. Well, we should still have one full group. So this one will go to Kyoto, and the other infantry groups just start sieging down the 3 provinces around. Yeah, that should do it. It was a bit tricky to sort it out, but we did it. And since we're force marching with everyone, this should get to our destination relatively quickly. Now, how many troops they have at this point? I can see also there's a fight going on between Libertatia and Japan. I will join it if I can. We will need naval blockade for Tango. Do we need a naval blockade for Yamato? I don't think so. And also the same for Kyoto. So that should be the right path to take. You can see we're also gaining some war score. Actually, we're losing war score because we don't have capital Kyoto under our control at the moment. But we are expecting to solve this in a bit. Now their troop counts, right? So they still have 102,000, which is something to consider. And they are moving closer towards us, but this group should be routed, so if anything, it's just a single 58,000 in size troop that's moving towards us. Now I will take forced march off from this one. We just use like a month or two to recover a little bit, because these guys are running somewhere and they're running there fast. We'll also remove force march from you. Are you guys gonna try to fight us again, or what's gonna happen here? So we took over Kyoto. Where are you heading? Setsu. So Setsu is right here. I mean, after taking over Kyoto, I think we can kind of force peace, but I'm just curious where they're like running so quickly. Do they want to fight us in some of the towns, or just run around like without purpose? Now you're going to Key. Why are you going to Key? This makes no sense. And yeah, one more royal marriage proposal from Morocco. It's like once every 5 years or so. Maybe they're just limited to how many proposals they can send us. You can see Libertatia is also helping us out. God is good. Custodianship of Rengat. Okay, that's brilliant stuff. Now, maybe it's time to check out if we can force them to accept a peace deal from us. Basically, well, I want to say half of Japan is going to be ours, but I guess we took like the cheaper half of Japan when you look at it like that. But anyway, like that was probably one of the fastest conquests of Japan I've had in any of the campaigns so far. So let's just double check. We get 99.9% overextension. We do want to see that we are at 0. So nothing's been blocked. And yeah, we get like a continuous, I guess, trail, or like a continuous piece of Japan here. Clearly it cannot be united with our coastline because there's sea everywhere, but looks like a hefty piece. Yeah, so let's send our demand. We will get 0, somewhere between 0 and 72 aggressive expansion relations with 125 countries, including Jaunpur, Guarat. Well, Japan is getting a lot. They didn't have any before, so kinda annoyed them a little bit. But yeah, let's send the demand. And now we are the proud owners of, I guess it's called Kilwa, Japan, right? And let's do the mandatory process of starting coring everything cost-wise. It's like 36 is the most. Yeah, this Tokachi was an expensive one. But we should definitely have enough admin power, so let's get this going. We can also stop spying on Japan. Spy network was discovered in any case. And we can also do some center of trade upgrades. So the Forbidden City apparently had a center of trade that needed an upgrade. Also we have like a relatively low level fortress, so maybe we update it once we... Well, we probably will have at least one more war against Shun, if not 2. We are at peace until the year of 1787. And I think our next war actually will be against Ottomans again. Because our truce ends, well, in a year. We have some time to prepare, maybe get a set of troops over here from Asia. Like one boatload of troops. That sounds funny. But in any case, we already have enough troops to get this going already. So yeah, how is Ottomans doing? So oh my god. Okay, so they only have 68,000 troops. I just wanna like conquer them sooner because like Commonwealth and stuff would be able to break up pieces of them that maybe we want for ourselves. But then again, we cannot be too greedy just because our campaign will end before. Maybe like 2 or 3 more wars against Ottomans we can do. Grabbing as many pieces as we can. Zooming out a little bit, you can see that Kilwa has quite large letters in it already. So most of Africa, most of southern Asia. Australia is almost ours. Nothing in the Americas, but that's okay. We chose not to go there this game. Just not to get too big of a bite out of the apple. So just to sum it up a little bit as I'm wrapping up the stream here, we did go for Shun. Our allies helped us a lot, and we did take a lot of their coastline, like most of it I would say. Then we turned our attention towards Japan, and also, as you can see, the result is here. We have like half of Japan under our control. And Ottomans will likely be our next target, or next first target in the next stream. So anyone checking out the VOD or checking this out live, thank you for joining me, and see you at the next stream. Bye!